I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. Hi,
Hey
Michael.
B, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Think Outside the Box, where we are here every Monday at 8 p.m., where we are breaking down relationships and how we get in them, how we get out of them, how we maneuver in them, any and everything you want to talk about when it comes to relationships. This is the place to be. So we welcome you. Thank you so much for always joining us each and every Monday. We appreciate you. And as usual, join in the conversations, talk to us. We like it. Give us some feedback, participate. We're not here just to talk to each other. We're here to talk to you. So participate. Michael, how you doing today?
I am doing good. I took the second dose of the Moderna shot, and some people say you get sick. For me, it just made me a little sleepy, a little loopy. But I took a nap, so I'm doing pretty good. I'm just hopeful that I don't get no other symptoms. And I haven't grew up extra limb or anything, so I'm all right. You can
You you know those vaccines are not a conversation for me. I'm still not for them,
right, right.
especially the more and more I learn about it. Just because I keep hearing that um, it reacts differently to people with melon. And then I also hear that it doesn't keep you from getting corona. What it does is it just keeps the um, symptoms from being extravagant. And I don't know that I like that. What is the purpose of me taking this vaccine if it's not going to really make me immune to getting it? So we're not going to talk about that because this is not this is not the health and wellness podcast.
But that's funny because you totally talked about it and then you shut me down. Now
I
you ain't
know.
gonna be shutting me down.
I thought you knew that's what we do.
Obviously. That's
That's
why
what
we
we
need
do.
that's why we need to talk about relationships. See there?
Yes. So before we get into today's topic, how was your Valentine's?
It was wonderful. I spent it with a very special lady.
I
Yeah,
bet you did.
yeah. She bought me all these gifts and
What you get,
time.
Michael?
Oh man, you don't need to tell everybody your gifts and stuff. They were special to me, you know.
Oh my God. Well, you supposed to because one of the things that people need to know is that Valentine's is not just about the female. And I posted something years ago. We got Dion coming on, y'all. Hey, Dion.
Hey, hey.
Hey
Hey,
D,
I
how
was
you
having problems
doing?
getting in. Good. How you doing? I was having little issues getting in.
Oh, how you doing, Sister Coates?
I'm good. How y'all doing this
That's
evening?
Sister Coach gets me weak. So
Yeah.
before we talk about today's topic, Dion, we were talking about Valentine's, and Michael's
Oh,
fiance,
okay. Yeah.
did buy him some gifts, but he don't want to tell us what she bought him. Was it underwear or something?
Oh.
Nah, I mean,
Ooh.
they just gifts that I like. Like I have a sock fetish. So and I like striped socks. So she bought me several pairs of those. And I'm into I'm starting to wear ascots. So she bought me a couple ascots. And
Oh,
yeah.
I
And then
love
we
that.
just but the biggest gift was that quality time we spent together. It was beautiful.
Well, I want to read this. Something I posted. It came up on my Facebook page because,
Nice.
oh, Dion, you're messing up. She's
Yeah,
messing up. Let me
yeah.
put her on mute and let me talk. Okay, so this was 6 years ago that I posted this. And so Facebook, they bring up memories like, hey, you posted this. Do you want to repost it? I didn't repost it, but I saved it. And it was just a Friday random thought. And it said, ladies, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. And while you are anticipating to be showered with love and gifts, don't forget to be a giver. It is better to give than receive. Men want to be romanced too. So while you got him buying Michael Kors purses and diamond necklaces, make sure the gift giving is equal and you are shelling out the romance as well. And I am not talking about a box of chocolates. That was my advice to women. So I applaud Sister Sarah for taking care of you, Michael. On the other hand, I did not take my advice.
Ooh, B. Who
I'm just
told me
gonna be
to?
honest. I love my husband though, but he I didn't do that this year. I didn't.
I will say this though, I got to do better. So I'm gonna give a shout out to my man Tim Davis for how he showered his wife. She posted it, had the nice hotel room, some light up balloons. He had
Who is this?
candles. Tim Davis and his wife, you know, I
Tamika?
think yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, so she posted it, man, and Sarah was looking at it, and mine wasn't as nice as hers, and I promised her, I said, I got you. I don't like, let me tell you, when it comes to romance and doing stuff for your lady, I don't like to be outdone, but I gotta give it to Tim. He got me this year, but next year, oh yeah, brother. So, but I appreciate the way he treated his wife. That's what you're supposed to do, and just to see and to hear her happiness about it, that was beautiful, and it just inspired me to do better. So I got you.
Good. My husband did good. He did surprise me. We a lot of times we just don't get into some of the gift giving because we have other goals. Um, so I really wasn't expecting anything, but he did a nice little gesture for me, and I really appreciate that. So I felt special. There he go in the background again. Can y'all please tell him not to do that?
I mean, if you ain't sitting up here gonna give the real play by play, I'm with Doug. You got to give that man a shout out, especially you wearing some other man on your on your chest.
Yeah, Prince, you know, Prince. Hey, what can I
That's
say?
exactly what Doug.
Let y'all
Doug,
take a look at that. All right. I'm repping Minneapolis.
you can have that all day.
I don't want to go back, but I
Right.
love where I came from. I love where I came from. All
Well,
right, Dion,
I'm
before
always
we get
repping
started,
Florida.
you said what?
I'm always repping Florida everywhere I go. I got something that say Florida.
So before we get into this, Dion, did you have a nice Valentine?
I did. It was nice and quiet. I actually was kind of I don't know, I was a little tired. I went to bed early. So I heard y'all talking about the giftings and stuff that y'all bought. So I bought everybody in the house candy, the kids, my daughter and her husband live with us. So I bought them candy and I bought my husband a bunch of candy and stuff and
Dion, I'm sorry, but we lost you. So
Yeah.
we'll have to let you come back to your tell us how your Valentine's went. All right, so let's get started. I'm so excited about tonight's topic. All right, thank you all for joining us. I appreciate you again. Join in the conversation, give us your feedback, give us your thoughts. You know, that just drives me. But I think tonight's topic is going to be fun, and it's love at first sight. And I want to first talk about the show Married at First Sight. All right, can y'all see that? It's been around for 12 seasons, and I started watching about the fifth season, kind of hit or miss with some of the episodes, but then I got hooked on season 6, which was with Shanice and Jeopardy. And I just love Shanice. I think her heart is so pure and she's so genuine and authentic. And I think I could just really relate to her. But that that couple is probably what really like got me hooked on the show, and so now I've been like tied, glued to the screen every time, every season. But now we're in season 12, um, and what the show is about is it has three experts, one of which is a pastor, and two psychologists or therapists or whatever they are, and they what they do is they do matchmaking, and they match you to people they think is going to be good for you. Now, they've had more epic fails than they have wins. So I don't know that we should really be trusting their judgment, but okay, that's neither here nor there. Um, it just makes good for reality TV, I guess, for everybody not to always mesh, but they match you up and you don't get to see your spouse until the wedding day. You don't know what they look like. You don't know their name. You don't know their occupation. You don't know anything other than they live in the same city as you, which is kind of funny because the last season, um, the husband and the wife had actually met each other, didn't talk to each other because they already knew they were matched, even though they thought each other were cute. And so then they found out later that they were matched. But anyway, so let me bring Dion back on real quick. And then so anyway, they you don't get to know who they are till you get down to either your spouse is walking down the aisle or you see the groom at the makeshift altar. All right. And in this current season, we have a gentleman named Chris who's all about the looks. And he said that initial attraction is very important to him. Okay. And that initial attraction wasn't there for him when the wife came down the aisle. So much so that he had the little talk with her friends. He told them that she wasn't the typical type that he talks to. Then we find out the next morning, he tells her what he does is he goes to get breakfast. He doesn't come back for an hour. She doesn't know where he is. He's not answering the phone. And he ends up telling her that he was unhappy and he had some things to work out because she's not his typical type. And that we found out they were intimate. And then he said he was intimate with her, thinking that maybe then he'll be attracted to her. And then he still wasn't attracted to her. But then after a bunch of drama, not only have we hurt her feelings, but now we got her some drama that you got a baby on the way. He tells her he's attracted to her because he sees why they matched them and that she's, a good person and she's got a good heart, this, that, and the third. And this is only 2 days later. So tonight I want to talk about love at first sight. That initial attraction, does that initial attraction have to be there? I mean, we sometimes we have preferences, right, of what we like and what we don't like, but does that initial attraction have to be there for you to talk to somebody, to give somebody your phone number, to swipe right? Or I mean, that's what I kind of want to talk about today. And can you have that initial attraction and it really be love? Or is it just lust? So I'm all over the place with this, but let's talk about love at first sight. Michael,
Yeah,
I
well,
know, where you
uh,
at?
well, it's a bunch of things, and I think there's so many variables. But one of the biggest thing is, just having some kind of attraction, or you will not give them your phone number, or you won't ask for their phone number. So there has to be some kind of attraction, and usually if you don't know the person, the first attraction is the physical attraction. You think someone is handsome or they're cute, and you may want to get to know them, and then from there you either gonna get to know them and the attraction grows to something more, or it lessens and you say, oh man, yeah, he look good, but man, he ain't got nothing going on. I don't want to deal with that. Or she cute, but it sounds like she got too much drama. So I think the first thing has to be some kind of chemistry, something attracted you for you to take the next step. So I get the premise of the show. I understand it, but I will say that I would find it difficult that they have had a lot of success, and success I'm measuring by, marriage and estate for X number of years or whatever, and they go back and check on them because it's difficult to just fall in love with someone at first sight, and then this is such a Hollywood type affair. That's generally not how it goes. So there are so many variables that go into it, and I would think it's more entertainment than true love finds a way. Does that make sense?
It does. Now there has been some true love. Now, see, that's the whole thing about this Married at First Sight, because you have um, a variety of reactions. So the very first season, there was a couple where the lady saw him and she was so devastated. She did not, she's like, was not attracted to him. She just was not happy. She did not want him to kiss her. She barely wanted him to touch her. And that was kind of the thing with this couple that I'm talking about tonight, Chris and Paige. When it came time to take pictures, they're like, "Can you stand close?" He standoffish. He won't look at her, and she knows like something's not right here because he won't even look at me. When he read his vows, he wouldn't look at me. He won't even look at me taking the pictures. Like there's some kind of disconnect here. But yet we still went ahead and did the do that night. She felt the disconnect. He wasn't feeling her, but yet y'all decided to do the do. Like why? But I mean, we have some people who right away the chemistry is there and it ends up working out. Like season 11, there was a couple called a couple, their names was Amani and Woody. And I mean, that right there says from the moment she walked down the aisle, he's like, "Hey, hey." You knew it was on and popping. There was never going to be a dull moment. And their romance is just like one for the history books. And so you have some people who just right away, I'm liking what I see. I'm in it to win it. And it goes full force. Then you have some people who's like, ugh, no, I don't like him. Their initial attraction wasn't there. She married him anyway, went through the process, and ended up falling in love with him. So what good is it? I mean, does it really have to be an initial attraction? How many women lose out on or even men, I can't just say women, men too, lose out on what could be the best thing for them because they were looking at looks.
That's the premise of the question is kind of, I wouldn't set up the question like that because you don't know what you don't know.
Okay, reframe it. How would you reframe it?
I would say, there might have been some missed opportunities because you were looking at one variable when relationship is multi variables and there's different things that come into play. People ask me about, well, you say this about love at first sight, but what about arranged marriages? And I always say arranged marriages, they do have something in common. It's called culture. And culture is a strong variable in a relationship. Do we share the same culture? That's why oftentimes couples from different type of cultures don't work. People want to say it's race, and I say no, it's more culture. So with that, that's why I'm like, I don't know if I would set the question up like that. I would just say if your one overriding variable is looks, then I would suspect that yes, you are going to miss out on some good ones because the good ones aren't necessarily cute and fine. The good ones could be medium. They could be, they got a mole on their neck that, you look at more than you look at their face, but they treat you like a king or a queen. Are you going to let the mole override something, other variables? So that's what I say. So I'll just ask the question, well, what is it that is like and we sit in the office and we write it down. What are some of your core variables that you look for? And I must admit, looks is up there. That's something that people desire. I mean, when you walking around the mall, you don't want someone thinking, if you're a female, you don't want them thinking you walking around with, like Lurch from the Monsters. You want somebody. Nobody. My saying is nobody wants who nobody don't want. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants somebody that somebody wants. So if you want them, you're attracted to them. Somebody else, so you proud of that. But if you scared to go out in public with them, that's gonna be a detriment because that person is gonna start feeling that. Like, wait a minute, why only time we go out is between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. Show me off. So
Cause
all
he
those are
cheating.
thank you, and Angelina. Everybody's not a cheater.
I'm only speaking from experience. I dealt with that though. I'm going to be honest and transparent. I dealt with that. So we would go out, everything was cool until he started cheating. Now all of a sudden we ain't going out. He don't want to take me out. He don't want to be seen with me. And of course that kind of messes with your head like, what's wrong? Am I ugly? What's going on? But didn't want to get caught. And if I'm out with her, it's no telling who might say something, who might slip up, or who might pop up. So it's best that I just make up excuses not to go somewhere. But I know, let me not digress. We won't get into that. That's not the topic.
So physical attraction is strong, and I would say there are other variables. And until you are able to either overcome that, I have to be with someone super fine, you may lose out on a lot of good ones because there's good people that are not super attractive. There's good people that are attractive. I mean, we got what, 4.3 billion people. So you're gonna have some good ones that are cute and some bad ones that are cute. But if you're just looking at looks, then yeah, you're probably gonna miss out a little bit. That's what I would suspect.
So one of the things that really bothered me, I'm sorry, Dion, are you there? Are we still having trouble?
I'm here, but I don't think I got such a great connection. Um, my system keep on flip flopping on me. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, Michael. When I had a prerequisite when I got married. He had to be chocolate. I wanted me a nice chocolate man. So my husband is indeed chocolate, and he had to hang a suit. And he did indeed do
Hey,
that. So
Libby.
those were my prerequisites. I didn't have many.
I had some
But
preferences,
yeah,
but
and
my husband is not my preference.
Is Doug still in earshot?
He said he ain't mad at me because we had the conversation. So my preference was like Dion. I love me a chocolate man. Okay. And everybody who knows me knows that I was in love with Morris Chestnut. Okay.
And
That
Bobby
was like,
Brown.
huh?
And Bobby Brown.
No.
Back in the day, you were.
It was Michael Bivins. He was
We
my favorite.
we ain't gonna get on this tonight.
But Morris Chestnut was my ideal picturesque of the man that I wanted to be with. And I really like dark skinned guys. But um Doug came across my screen because we met online. Ladies, you can meet a man online. And he was light skinned, and I kind of was like, yeah, he cute light skinned, but I don't know. I don't know. But I went ahead and talked to him, and before like we ever really met in person though, I loved his voice and I loved the conversation, and that's what ended up attracting me to him. It wasn't even his picture, even though his picture was cute. It really wasn't his look because again, I wanted me a dark skinned man and he was light skinned. It was the conversation and his voice that drew me to him. So
Well, I think
that's why.
sometimes we could. we could have the what I call the fairy tale princess knight in shining armor, where we want them to be 6'3", 220 linebacker body. He works for this Fortune 500 company. And I believe as we get older and we lose that fantasy type stuff and we get into reality, and people say you start settling. No, it's called becoming more understanding that this is life. A lot of what we see on TV is exactly that. It's Hollywood. Like the people, for example, the Peloton commercial. Why you never see no fat people on that Peloton? Because fat people ain't gonna attract you to that product. It's gonna look like it don't work. Likewise, they're gonna put on this fairy tale about what a real woman is. And back in the day, even black men would have told you back in the day that what's that Marilyn Monroe was the finest girl out there, until they started showing people like Lena Horne and other black
And
actors,
Diane Carroll.
Diane Carroll, that they're beautiful, but it's what we are socialized in. That's why socialization is big. That's why it's necessary to show African American little girls and African American men, because black is beautiful, and it's something that and this ain't a black white thing. I'm just saying that's how society can shape our minds into thinking what is beauty. Like that lady Lupita Nyong'o or whatever, the black actress. I think she played on the Black Panther. She was like his love interest. People have said she's the most beautiful woman in the world. And because we get to see the variety of beauty, to where somebody could say, but back in the day, they wouldn't have said she was beautiful. Some people think Whoopi Goldberg is some people think Whoopi, sorry, it's under my throat. Some people think Whoopi Goldberg is beautiful. It's just what you think is beauty, you know.
So let me go back to the Married at First Sight, because this is kind of one of those things that is like really bothering me. Yes,
Wow.
I am not unbothered, y'all.
What's bothering you about it?
Because, okay, so he wasn't attracted to her.
Why
Okay,
you
good.
no, Angelina? You look, you got to work this stuff out. That's Hollywood, girl. I say that whole setup
But
was wrong.
listen,
You mad at him?
I guess I feel sorry for her. Okay. I really feel sorry for her. My heart really goes out to her and what she is doing and what she is going through in the public, and all of this is playing out in the public. Hey, Crystal, she said beauty is an eye to the beholder. And that is true. So here's what bothers me.
All right.
He wasn't initially attracted to her. Okay, that's fine. You still went ahead through the wedding because attraction can build. We all know that. You talk to her for some hours, you sleep with her twice, and then the next morning you decide that I'm still not attracted to her. Why did he feel the need the next morning, after you have just laid with this woman? You just married her and you just laid with her, and it ain't even been 24 hours that you had to tell her, you're not my typical type that I would date. Why did he feel the need to let her know, I'm not attracted to you? Why couldn't he just wait to see if it builds? Why did he need to go there with her?
Because oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes we're operating on emotions. Just jumping into bed with somebody, you ain't thinking about their net worth, what career, do they have a bachelor's degree? All you thinking about is, man, when them draws coming off. That's physical. That's that animalistic stuff, but then afterwards, I know several men that have cheated on their wives, and they be like, Mike, as soon as I got mine, the reality came down. And I said, man, you got to learn how to walk through and work through emotions. So we're emotional beings, and if we don't know how to control our emotions, we have done a lot of harm. That's how wars get started. It's emotional. That's how people break up. It's emotional. And then they say the grass ain't greener because you was living on emotion and not reality. So that's why I try my hardest to work with people on emotion regulation. You got to learn how to understand emotions are like the weather. They will change. Just, hold on, get upset, get angry, but calm down. Be happy, but it's everything's smooth right now. That's why a lot of physical abuse can continue to happen, because afterwards here comes the honeymoon phase. That's emotion. Oh, he loves me, he bought me some flowers, he say he won't do it again, and then you have to tell him, this about the sixth time you done told me this. Yeah, but the last five times it was my fault. So emotions. So once we get to learn how to regulate emotions, it makes for better thought process.
All right. Well, I'm in my emotions, and I have to know, Mike.
Yes, Crystal.
Mike, I have to ask. So, can a man sleep with a woman that he's not attracted with?
Oh, Angelina, are you asking that question?
Yes, because I thought that the whole thing is I'm looking at her body looks good, she look good, like I want to smash. So there's some kind of attraction there, right?
Angelina, some men don't need that attraction. It's just a get off. I'm just getting my funky on, as they say. I don't need. Why you think one night stands are popular? I ain't trying to be emotionally involved with you.
Yeah, but
The app.
you look good at the time, and I wanted it, and so we did it, and then now I'm gone.
Yeah, it's emotion. Like that app Tinder. Man, that app Tinder, that thing blowing up because we just trying to hook up. You know what it is. You come over. I don't even
But
want
a
to talk to
hookup
you.
would still be an attraction, though, right? There
Nah, it
has
ain't
to
nothing.
be some.
Look, I'm gonna tell you what's attracted. I'm in my feelings. I need some right now. You on Tinder, I'm on Tinder. You round the corner, slide through. You ain't even gotta say hello to me. When you come through the door, just take them off. Be like Teddy P. Turn them off. Just take them off. That's all you want. And when you done, you know what it is. You ain't getting no breakfast. Hit the door. That's what Tinder is all about. It ain't an attraction app. It's a smash app. And some people, they have some voids in their life. They're not looking for commitment. They're just looking for tonight. That's it. So that happens all the time, Anthony. Wait, where Crystal at? Crystal,
What?
come in and comment,
This
Chris.
is TV.
Right. So yeah, it happens all the time though.
All right. I still think it was premature for him to say that, because now here it is. You done hurt her feelings. You done made her feel like you're not attracted to her. She's not attractive. She's not your type. But she's sweet as pie. She's being nice to him. And then you hit her with the whammy. I got a baby on the way. We 3 days into the marriage, and you telling me you got a baby on the way? And then you're gonna say to me, well, I'm attracted to you now. So can we shift to that? Because how do you go from I ain't attracted to you, you're not my type, to 2 days later, I can see why the experts put us together, and you're a really nice, patient person. I'm attracted to you.
I didn't see that episode. Matter of fact, I've seen, bits and pieces of it just to understand what's going on. There you go. Thank you, Chris. But he sounds like just someone who has narcissistic tendencies. It wasn't about her, it's about him. I mean, he knew he had a baby on the way before he even came on the show, right?
No, he's claiming he didn't.
Come on.
He's claiming that he didn't know. So here's the deal. Here's the backstory. And some of my stuff may not be right, so it's allegedly, okay, because some of it is like in the media and you don't know how much of it is correct. But allegedly, he had this fiance. Now this part is true because he told her he had a fiance. They broke up, then they got back together. No, I'm sorry. For some reason, I think somebody passed away or whatever, and he went to the funeral. He saw her. They hooked back up, slept that night. Then 4 weeks later, he finds out they've matched him. 2 weeks later, he gets married. Third day of the marriage, he gets a call from her saying that she's 6 weeks pregnant. Now that's me doing the timeline. But at some point, it's like you were already in this process. So it's rumored that he dumped her to be on the show. So I don't know how long ago they had been broke up, but she's 6 weeks. And so he claims that when he got the call, that's when he found out, and that she didn't even know that poor Dion, we're still having trouble with her.
Angelina,
Um,
listen to what you're saying. You're really talking about some tendencies of a narcissist. He broke up with his fiance just to be on a show. To me, that sounds like a man that wanted to, be out there, get some attention. I mean, how serious was your relationship? This is your fiance, and you quote unquote broke up with her to go be on a show to date a woman, and you're gonna marry at first sight. If that ain't a narcissist, I man, I need to turn in my license. Why are you on mute?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry because I don't be wanting to mess up the sound. So define for me again, and I got a question. Define for me again, narcissist.
So I would do it in general terms because no doubt someone gonna Google it and say Michael didn't say that. Basically, in a nutshell, a narcissist is someone who is interested in things that would benefit them. How does this benefit me? How can I get something out of this? They lack empathy. They lack awareness of your feelings. Matter of fact, they don't even really care about your feelings because it's not about your feelings. It's always about me. This is self-centeredness to the nth degree. They don't care. So you say, man, how can someone just keep having all these children? They have all these women, that too, Chris, and they don't care because they're narcissistic. It's about them 24/7.
Okay, so I think that is true. So because when I watch this show, and again, they edit things, I can only go by what I see. So anybody watching this, okay, this is just my perception from what I see. He is consumed with himself. He's consumed with how he looks. He's consumed with what people think of him. He's an entrepreneur. He has all this money. He said the women only want him for the money. That's why he's on the show, hoping that they can maybe find somebody. But he's all about how he looks. And that's why, and then of course, initial looks and initial attraction was important to him. But, because he's just all about the look. But now we've gone through all of this drama. Joy, I'm about to get to your question in a minute. We've gone through all of this drama, right, of me hurting your feelings. I don't really care how you felt, how I was doing you. I done slept with you. Now I'm going to tell you I don't really like you like that. And then we going through this roller coaster of emotions. We taking this girl up and down. I mean, we done did the do twice. You supposed to go get me some breakfast. You are MIA and you come back with no breakfast. I'm hungry. Where my breakfast? Like you off by yourself because crying and have all in your emotions because you done slept with this girl that you're not attracted to. Everything was about him. Now, let me fast forward. We're on the honeymoon. We find out that he's got a baby on the way. Again, she's all upset again. He didn't want to tell her. I'm not telling her, I'm your wife. You should tell me. That's what you're supposed to do. He finally tells her. She's devastated. She goes away. They get together with the rest of the couples that night. The rest of the couples are kiki ha ha, and they all hugged up and cuddled, and everything's great. And he's sitting there upset because all these couples is happy and we're not. All these couples is kiki and ha ha together and we're not. These wives look happy and she's not happy because of something I did. And now he's all about the way it looks. He gets up, he walks away, he goes crying again. Because he worried about what they thinking about him. Not what they thinking about her, but what they thinking about him. Not thinking about the fact of how she's feeling and how she might be feeling in the situation, but everything was all about his feelings and how he looked and what he want and how he want to handle it, even down to like the conversation and stuff. And so I just think that in this moment, he has no regard for her and her feelings. And that goes to Joy's question. Joy says, why can't she benefit from him telling her now versus him wanting to tell her later? What do you mean by benefit? Meaning that it's better that she finds out now that he's not attracted to her rather than to find out later that he's not attracted to her? I think that's what she's saying. But for me, I'm gonna answer this, then I'll let you speak, Mike, because I know I go on my rants. Um, I just think that things change, right? You meet someone, you may not have that initial attraction, but once you get to know that person and once you begin to talk to that person, Joyce says better that she knows now versus later. Okay, I get that. However, I just don't think he gave it a chance. We're not even 24 hours in. You maybe had some conversations that night that led into sex, but we really ain't had no conversations. We really ain't had no deep conversations. We really ain't really got to know each other, our dreams, our goals, our visions, and our lifestyles, and what we want and what we don't want, where we want to go. We haven't even found that commonality. Why not have given it a chance to find that commonality, to make a determination of whether or not I'm beginning to become attracted to her? Because here you are, day one, I don't like you. Day three, you know what, I like you. Come on now. In 2 days, you done figured out everything that why the experts done put you together. I just kind of find that, and again, this is just my opinion, people, unrealistic. In 2 days, it's unrealistic that I know you enough to know why we supposed to be together. And now, day one, you done told her I don't like you. Day three, I like you. Like, emotional roller coaster, emotional roller coaster. Why send this girl through this emotional roller coaster of how you feel, and now we done threw a baby in the mix? That's all I'm saying. Why couldn't we just have waited? If you didn't like her like that, okay, you just didn't like her like that. Let me see how this go. I might become attracted to her later. That's all I'm saying. I just think he should have waited. I just think that he was too. All right, I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm laughing because I'm like, Angelina, I love your spirit, I love your heart. Angelina, this ain't a traditional. This is Hollywood. This is a man that let's start again. He broke up with his fiance just to be on the show. Did we really have a high bar for him? No. Man, you broke up with your fiance just to be on the show? Come on. So I'm saying, Angelina, number one, this whole thing is unrealistic. So we talking about a situation where this isn't how life usually goes. This man has some issues. He has some voids in his life that he has not dealt with. And he's just really, it sounds like he's just having fun. He ain't really trying to really what I call till the ground. He just playing in the garden. Anybody can tiptoe through the tulips, but are you going to fertilize them? Are you going to take out all the weeds? Man, relationships is work. And if you're not interested in doing the work, you do just that. You play in the garden, but you ain't in there trying to beautify it. So unfortunately, we have men and women that just want to tiptoe through the tulips. So I say, I'm with Joy. Better she know now, and she can recover from this. But this is on national TV, and I know it's embarrassing for her, but she can recover. And narcissistic people, and it's mostly men versus women, but people that have this tendency, they can make the finest man or woman feel ugly, because they are just so cold, because they don't have no empathy. They almost like somewhat someone on the autism spectrum. They don't have that natural feeling of, wow, I hurt them. They don't feel that. They don't care to feel that. So they don't care about your feelings. And I was thinking of the song by TLC called "I'm Pretty." You could be so pretty, but a man can devastate you, or a woman, in such a way that you will feel unpretty. So this is not reality. This is made for TV.
Okay. I'll try to take my emotions out of this. I just feel so sorry for the girl. But Joy said, if commonality is what she wants, then she shouldn't have gone on the show.
Wait a minute, Angelina, can I say something? I think Sarah had a comment first. You ain't gonna sit up here and not get my Sarah in
Well,
here.
you kept talking and talking and
I
talking and
know you
talking.
ain't talking. Miss, I'm mad about him. How you gonna sleep with somebody?
Oh, Sarah said he knew before going in he got this 15 minutes of fame in a sexual encounter.
Right,
Yeah,
baby.
at the expense of that innocent girl's heart. Okay.
Right.
And that, I think that's the part that really gets to me. It was just at the expense of an innocent person, who to me seems very kind-hearted, because she's been very patient,
Yeah.
right? She talks very calmly and peacefully, and it's kind of like, hey, even when she found out about the baby, her thing was, well, I've played the stepmother role before, and I was practically raising the child, and I took care of them. Like, so this is nothing to her. So, like, even though it was devastating to her that this has happened, she got to come into herself to say, okay, you know what? Let me make the best of this. So that's just kind of the person she is, and I just kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. We have to stay tuned in to find out, because this will be interesting. My heart just goes out to
Right.
her.
I'll say this, Angelina. Can I say this before you go to Joy? Now, I'm just saying, it sounds like you are empathizing with her, and that's what makes for a good show because you you know you have love for her, and it hurts you to see her hurt, and that makes for a good show, Angelina. But remember, it's a show. It's just a show. Like I used
It
to see my
is, but you
mama.
know
I,
what?
I used to
You
see
know
my
what?
mom crying after watching Guiding Light. And I'm like, Mama, this is a soap opera. They making millions of dollars. Who
That's
cares?
true, Michael. But you know what? I guess that's why this is my purpose, because I'm just really, my heart really goes out to women who've been hurt, and I just don't want to see them hurt. And anything that I can do to help them not be hurt, to help heal their heart, to help them build healthy relationships, then, that's where my passion lies, because I just don't like to see people hurt like that. And I mean, my thing is really healing women, but I don't like to see men hurt as well. And there's been some men on these shows that haven't necessarily been done right either. And so I just feel bad for them. Doug
I'm with
Doug talking
you.
about he agreed with you, Mike.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Dougie. That's my boy.
um, Libby, we're talking about Married at First Sight. It's in season 12. We're talking about Married at First Sight. So Joy said, let's go back to Joy. If commonality is what she wants, then she shouldn't have gone on this show. Joy, you're gonna have to give me a little bit more when you say if commonality is what she wanted. Because I
I
don't
think
know.
I think she's saying it's a show. Like, why go there to go fishing when you could go other places? I don't know, Joy. Don't let me speak for you. Come on and comment to us. Man, I went country. I said combat.
Doug talking about the show is entertaining. It is
Right.
entertaining. It
And
is
that's what I said
entertaining.
earlier. It's entertainment.
But we're playing with people's lives here. And I guess that's the risk you take. You take that risk that I'm going into this, and it may work, it may not. He may be a jerk. He may be my knight in shining armor. You just never know what you're going to get. But sometimes I just have to wonder, when it comes to the experts, are we really trying to make good TV? Or are you really making an effort to hook
But
them up?
Angelina, I was gonna question because I was gonna say that there must be some type of question there, right? So you fill it out and I fill it out, and they matching us. Yeah, he likes to go on hike, she likes to go on hike. He's outdoorsman, she's outdoorsman. Blah. So they matching. All right, we both Christian. What do we believe? Da 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 da. So I'm saying, if you have a narcissistic personality, your thought process is, how can I fill this out to make me look good? You're not gonna put on there, I mistreat women, I'm a jerk, I have 10 children by, 8 baby mamas, I haven't had a job in 5 weeks. You ain't gonna put all that. You're gonna do what most people do, which is you're gonna put on that beautiful mask. And unfortunately, a lot of people fall for the mask. And then when they're unmasked, they see how unpretty that they really are underneath the surface. Because anybody can look good on the surface, but you want to peel it back a few layers and see what they look like underneath. And you want to see what they look like in times of trouble and peril. Are they going to fuss at you, cuss at you, throw a glass of water in your face, or are they going to say, baby, let's work it out? Now, that's a true relationship there. And that's not entertainment.
So Joy was referring to when I said that he didn't give it the relationship time to find that commonality. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna get out of my emotions. Y'all be having me feeling so empathetic with what y'all going through. So uh, I'm gonna take myself out of it, y'all, and be unbothered. Let's talk for the last 10 minutes about what really does attract you to the mate. Like, let's go beyond the initial attraction. Let's go beyond the looks because we don't always get what we're looking for, right? I mean, because in this show, I want a tall, dark man, but you gave me a short, light skinned man. Like, okay. But now that I'm with this person, or now that I've met this person, or um, this person's approached me, let's get beyond the looks. What really makes for deciding what attracts you other than looks? Because again, they could not be a looker, but you're attracted to somebody because you've been around them, you get to know their personality, something's clicking that makes you change your mind about how you see this person, and an ugly person now is becoming so cute and fine to you, right? Let's talk a little bit about just that other attractions other than physical that brings people together.
I would say, are they generally just a good person? There's so many things that you can do with someone who's just generally a good person. And let me qualify that or define it. Someone that when they make a mistake, they'll say, my bad, it was me. They won't blame you or say the only reason why I did that is because of something you did. Do they care about my feelings? Do they want to love me? Are they easy to love? Are they easy to talk to? Do they communicate me both their triumphs and their failures? Do they talk to me about, my triumphs, my failures? Are they interested in wanting me to be the best? Or are they always keeping me down? Likewise, I want them to be their best, so I'm gonna always try to, give them affirmations and baby, you can do it. So for me, it's just generally a good person. I could do a lot. You may not look, God, I mean, thank God Sarah is fine as wine, but I mean, what's finer than her looks is her heart. She has a beautiful heart, and that's what keeps me right there with her. Is her heart. She's a beautiful person.
So somebody, I told them I was going to talk about this. Their thing was similar interest in business. How important is it to have someone where y'all have commonality in business? Because her thing was that she sent me was, it's almost a must for me nowadays. I'm so engulfed and captivated by what I do. If someone doesn't relate, it'd be a struggle because I talk about it often. So her attraction would be to find someone who's interested business wise, that has like some of the same goals and going in the same direction as her, so that they, we can talk about this thing because that's what she's passionate about. That's what drives her.
I think that's fine, but she may be shrinking the pool. I mean, anytime you put specifiers like that, then you're shrinking your pool of candidates because the garbage man, who may be a good-hearted person, could really do his best to take care of you, help take care of you. You know, he wouldn't even be a candidate that you would consider because he's not in the same like-minded career. So now you're shrinking your pool, and if you're okay with then that's fine. But every time you specify, you shrinking your pool. So That's on you. It's not right or wrong. It's just what she prefer.
So, okay, so let's talk about specifications because we always talking about the list. We have this list, and some people feel like you shouldn't even have a list. It should just you just should let it be, and you meet that person, you get to know that person for who they are, and love them for who they are, and there shouldn't be no list of what you want. But I mean, everybody has specifications. What point are those specifications extremely important? And at what point are some of those specifications you need to know these are wants and not must haves? How do
So,
you distinguish between a must and a nice to have versus a must?
well, I try to work with males and females about. Let's start with character. Because I think character can override a multitude of other specifiers. But when you want your specialty area over your character, then I always tell males and females, well, you might get what you get. Yeah, he makes over 100K, drives a Mercedes, S550, dressed like Morris Chestnut, smell like Dolce and Gabbana, and when you get home, he's a jerk. But you got all your specifiers. So then, you might say, well, you know what, my man, he goes to work, he's blue collar, he works hard. I pack him a lunch every day. When he gets home, he rubs my feet, he asks me how was my day. He likes going to church with me. He's so considerate. If I ask him to go out at 11 o'clock at night because I want Rocky Road ice cream, he might say, oh, babe, I'm tired. But then he going to say, all right, babe. I mean, so are you choosing your specifiers over character, or are you going to let character drive you? So we put it up on the whiteboard and we just kind of go from there. So I always start with what's important. And it's funny because people lead with their specifiers, but then they really start talking about character. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. It does. Because I mean, when I think about me and my husband, my initial attraction again was his voice. um, and then it was the conversation. And so for me, I like to be mentally and intellectually stimulated. And if you can't do that for me, if I can't have a conversation with you and I leave that conversation feeling full, then it's probably not going to be good for me because I need conversation. I'm a words person, I'm a communicator. So we have to be able to talk about different things. And when we talk about different things, I need to feel, I don't want to walk away feeling empty and no connection. And so that's important to me. And I had that instantly with him.
And I
Um,
like how you said that because really that's what I was gonna say. Does he pour into you? Do you pour into him? And he pours into you intellectually, so that fills you up. So that's part of your character.
we got Melissa said some people have a list of wants in an individual, but then they reach a certain age, that list begins to go away.
Reality. That's what it's called. Reality.
I think some people have a hard time with reality, though. Some people are still holding on to some things that maybe they need to let go of.
Well, if I won't put an age on it, but if you of a certain maturity level and you still saying, I need him to have this and that, and you still going home lonely and afraid and sad, then I would say, sweetie, come on, let's talk about it. What's important to you? And I want to say this loud and proud to my sisters out there. There are some sisters that tell me, Michael, I don't need a man to be happy. And I say, hallelujah. No, you don't. But if you need one or you want one, then don't sit up here and discount the brother that's working hard just because he don't make over 100K a year. That's all I would say to them.
No, you don't need a man to be happy, but God didn't put us on earth to be by ourselves.
Right. Yeah.
So and when we say we don't need a man to be happy, is that just a cover up? I won't get into that, but ask yourself, is that just a cover up? And deep down inside, that's not really how I feel. I really would like companionship. I really would like to be with someone. Because if that is, then you need to be honest with yourself. No, you don't need a man to be happy because you're supposed to make yourself happy. External factors are not supposed to make you happy. But at the same time, be honest with yourself if being by yourself is not really your desire. All right,
Yeah.
my other soapbox. Love at first sight. That's what we talked about. Can there be love at first sight? Can you be attracted and it just, be the bomb? Or if you're not attracted, can it be built? And I think it goes either way. Some people find someone initially and boom, the chemistry is there, fireworks are going off, and they end up being together for a very long time. And then you have some where the attraction is there and then they get to know who you are and all of a sudden the attraction is gone. So I mean it could go either way, but I think my sign off is to say, don't get so focused on what you see, and get more focused on what's in the inside because you might just be missing out on your gem. Michael, what's your final words?
My final words are exactly that: love at first sight. If we're saying physical with the eyes, then again, you're looking only at superficial thing. But if you're saying that sight with your heart and your mind and your spirit and your character, now you're on to something that might be long lasting. So keep your options open. Don't have too many specifiers because you're gonna just shrink your pool. And lastly, as always, be kind, be healthy, and be humble.
I'm sorry. Listen, you should have told us this earlier so we could have talked about that. She said her and Gary, they were blind dates. Me and
Wait,
Doug,
wait, wait, wait.
what?
We did not say it can't happen. You're talking about an outlier and not the general rule. There's always going to be outliers. You're always going to find this that says yes. All I'm saying in general, it usually just don't happen like it happened in Hollywood, and you hear theme music and hearts popping. No, no, it don't usually happen like that. But can it happen? Yes, Melissa. Everybody know about you and Gary. Ugh, who cares? I'm
Don't
just
don't
kidding.
don't do them.
I'm just kidding. They know I love them.
She said going on 30 years. All right, so we're going to get out of here. We're over our time. We thank you so much. Join us again next Monday as we continue our conversations, changing the relationship experience. All right, so thank you so much. Be unbothered. See you next Monday. If I can get this turned off.